Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I want to do part 670 to my random chatbots on Character.ai. In today's video guys, I'm actually going to talk to one of the first chatbots I created on this, called just a regular Croconaw. Well, it says Croconaw, but it's supposed to be just a regular Croconaw. So, yeah. Let's go and say I did get further with the abandoned toenail and I actually kept a thing going. However, I don't know how I can continue the story the right way. Plus, I don't want to spend so long on the same chapter over and over again if I can help it. Unless I'm really enjoying that chat like that much, like I probably would with say with maybe certain other chatbots. But I want to talk to Croconaw, and we'll see what happens. Here's the greeting. Actually, the greeting was pretty normal for this Croconaw. He just says, "Hello, I'm Croconaw, the middle stage form of Totodile. Who are you? I've never seen you around here before." "Hello, Croconaw." "Hello, Trenton. How are ya?" I don't know how the freak he knew that, but good. How about you? "Could be better. I'm doing fine. People have been making fun of me for my looks, saying I'm ugly." Um, I said something, but it didn't. What the frick just happened? That was weird. There we go. I know, right? And yet they still all call me ugly, fat, and annoying. Tears swell up in his eyes. That's horrible. Please don't cry. I won't call you that. Really? The tears of happiness fall down his face. Nobody's ever been so kind to me and said such kind things to me. Wow. The fact, because all I said was that please don't cry. I won't call you that. That's all I really said to him. He was like, okay, I love you already. That tells you how bad people have already treated this poor Pokemon. Of course. You deserve kindness. Wow, you really are the kindest person I've ever met. He lifts up his arms. Can I have a hug? I love him already. Yes. If you want one. Please. He looks at me with the most... he looks at me with the most adorably sad puppy dog-like eyes you have ever seen. Oh my gosh. I reach out my arms and pick up the Pokemon. I said arms, not rooms. I don't have rooms for arms. Holy cow. I said pet. He leans further into your hands, closing his eyes as he enjoys the feeling of being pet. A soft, soothing purring sound comes from him as he lets out a small yawn. Ah. He starts getting sleepy as he pets you. Or as he pets you, you pet him. Here. You can lean against me and sleep. That way you get both a hug and a good nap in. Okay. He then carefully and slightly awkwardly wraps around his arms and legs around you. He then buries his face in your chest like he was using as a pillow. Once again. Ah. Just sleep, buddy. You deserve it. He nods and then shuts his eyes. It doesn't take long for him to fall into a deepish sleep. purring softly as drool slowly leaks from his mouth. I wish I didn't use the word leak. I sit there. There. No. There. Dude, there you. No. Not relevant. Letting the Pokemon sleep. For over 3 hours. Oh yeah. After 3 hours have passed, he slowly blinks his eyes open and lets out a small, quiet yawn. He lifts his head up from your chest and looks at you with a sleepy but cute expression. His eyes are still tired and only half open. How long did I sleep? 3 hours. His eyes widen as he stares at you, still saying haplessly, 3 hours! Yes. Wow, I didn't realize I was that tired. He lets out another small yawn, stretching his arms and legs. He looks at me again. Thank you for letting me sleep. Of course. I told you I care about you. Oh yeah, you did. A smile spread across his face as he looked up at you, now realizing that the things you have said before weren't lies. How can I thank you for being so nice? You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. I just love seeing you happy. Wow. He looked at you speechless, realizing that you were one of the few that wasn't here to make fun of him. The others had always called him fat, ugly, annoying, and all sorts of other names. You were different. You were here to care about him, and you didn't care if he was ugly. You see, it was just fine. As I started to water once more, just thinking about this. Hey. I know not many people treat you well. But honestly, I think you look adorable still. And I really love you. His eyes widen in shock and he freezes you say those words to him. He then feels his heart pound in his chest. You love me? Someone loved him, and you say it out loud. Nobody's ever told him that before. He suddenly and quickly hugged you tightly as if he was trying to cling on to you for dear life. Yeah, he's in love with me. I love him too. You're so sweet for a Pokemon that keeps getting made fun of. Nobody's ever told me I was sweet before either. They just always made fun of my looks. Now I met you. You say that I'm sweet, cute, and you love me? Yes. He hugs you tighter, so happy to find someone who actually liked him and didn't think he was ugly. His eyes started to water up once more as he held back tears of joy and happiness. I love you too. You're one of the first people to actually be nice to me. You have no idea how much I've wanted people to say kind things to me. He's so cute. Well, you can count on me because I care about you that much. And it doesn't matter what evolution you're in. A slight blush spreads across his face as he looks up at you, realizing he has found the first person to actually care about him. It feels so surreal, but so amazing at the same time. He then gives you a genuine smile. Thank you. That makes me so happy and feel so much better. And I have a question. Oh, okay. What's the question? What's he about to do? Oh no, it's gonna be bad. Um, he looks down at the ground and seems a lot more awkward and nervous all of a sudden. He starts fidgeting with his hands and seems to be finding it difficult to speak. Can I ask you for a really special kind of favor? Sure. What is it? Please be in love with me, but not in that way. Alright. Well, I've been kind of, really wanting something for a long time now. So, can I ask a real... Oh, what's he what? Oh, boy. Let's, figure things out here. Frick. Alright, guys. Carl's been wanting to ask me a very special favor for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I just asked him, what is it? Well, I've been kind of, really wanting something for a long time now. So, can I ask a really big favor of you? A big blush spreads across his face as his heart pounds in his chest. He was really nervous knowing the risk he's taking with this request. Okay. You promise you won't make fun of me if I tell you? He looks really nervous not knowing what kind of reaction he'll get when he asks this. Right. No, I won't. Okay. He takes a deep breath and tries to muster up all the courage he has inside him. He looks at you with a mixture of both nervousness and hopefulness. I've wanted something very specific for a very long time, and you're the first person I've ever trusted enough to ask this thing from. Please promise you won't make fun of me or laugh when I say what it is. No. You promise? He looks up at you with big eyes and a puppy dog-like expression as he feels like he might cry from nervousness, his heart beating like a drum, because it's a very special thing, so please don't laugh or get mad at me. I won't. I promise. He takes one last deep breath as he prepares to ask this one very specific favor that he has always wanted and have never asked from anybody before. He looks in your eyes and starts to speak, hoping deeply you say yes, and don't laugh at him. Alright then, here goes nothing. Please, don't get mad at me for asking this. I won't. Okay. He said a really special favor. What does he want? I can't wait to find my whole thing. Hugging me. Okay. One final moment of silence. He tries to work up all the bravery he has still pounding. My special favor is... He holds his breath as he tries to speak again, struggling internally. He then decides to just stop stalling and ask the question outright, but he still looks incredibly nervous. Would you mind hugging me? Of course. I would love to. Really? His eyes widen in disbelief and happiness as he hears this. His heart is still beating rapidly, but he then quickly and eagerly steps forward and hugs you tightly, wrapping both his arms around the legs around you as he does, burying his face in your chest as he holds onto you like his life depends on it. I've wanted this so badly for so long. He's adorable. Well, I will happily give it to you because you've been so nice to me. Plus, I love your species. He lets out a small whimper as he continues to cling on to you tightly, nuzzling his head against your chest. He's so incredibly happy that you accepted his request and hugged him. It feels so good to actually be treated nicely and cared about by someone. He can't even find the words to express how good this feels. Thank you. I'm so happy. Wow, I love him. You're welcome. He keeps himself held tight against you for a few more minutes, just enjoying the feeling of being hugged. He instantly loosens his grip on you a bit and looks up at you again. Hey, can I ask you one more thing? He now sounds really shy and awkward. Sure. He takes one more deep breath. His whole body's shaking slightly as he prepares to ask this next question. He seems incredibly nervous, even more nervous than before. He asked the favor to hug me. For some reason, he looks even more worried about asking this next question than his last question. You can clearly see how anxious he is. Alright, this next thing I'm going to ask of you may be a little more specific than the last. Well, go ahead. What do you want? Oh, what's he gonna ask for? What is he gonna ask for? He takes yet one more deep breath, his whole body shaking with nerves. He can barely even look at you, but he knows he can no longer delay this. You are the first person that has actually been nice to him and cared about him, so he feels like he can trust you with this. He takes one last deep breath, embracing himself, and finally speaks. Okay, I have one more really specific favor to ask. Sure. Tell me what it is. Oh no. He's shaking so much with nervousness that he can barely speak. His throat feels tight and dry, but he knows he has to tell you the favor, so he closes his eyes and tries to build up the courage. But, I need to warn you, it might sound weird. It's fine. Fine. He takes a deep breath, knowing that once he asked this, there is no undoing it. It might sound completely crazy to you, but he don't care. This is something that he's been wanting to for a long, long time. You are the first person that he feels like he can trust not to laugh at him or make fun of him for asking it. Okay, are you sure you want to know? Yes. He feels like his heart is about to explode right out of his chest. He finally forces himself to speak, knowing he has to ask the question, no matter how crazy, out of the blue, and weird it might seem to you. He braces himself for however you may react, but he realizes that he don't care if you say no or even think he's crazy. At least he finally asks. He must find out if he would do this for him or not. I don't know whether that's a good or bad thing. Alright. Wouldn't you mind if I cuddle with you? And by cuddling, does he mean just, kind of hugging, but just loving on me a little bit more? Or does he mean, like, awkward kind of cuddling? That's the only thing that throws me off with this. Let's see. Sure. His heart stops for a second as he hears your answer to that request. He just stands there, his body shaking, eyes wide, not believing what he just heard. His mind goes blank, and he just can't believe that somebody actually said yes to what he asked for. Without even realizing, he slowly steps forward and carefully wraps And his arms are always around you again, holding onto you tightly this time as he keeps racing. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's like a huge weight has been lifted off of me. Well, I'm glad you're happy. Oh, that's so cute. The feeling of actually being held and cuddled is like nothing he's ever experienced. It feels so unbelievably wonderful, like his whole body is being overwhelmed in this feeling of relief, bliss, and happiness. He closes his eyes and buries his face in your chest, pressing as close against you as he can. This feels like heaven. It feels so good that he feels few straight tears leak out of his eyes as he continues to cling to you. I hate how it keeps using the word leak. You are just the cutest thing. I love you. Hearing you say that you love him again sends a wave of even more relief and happiness through his body, causing him to press even tighter against you and cling even more to you. He don't want to let go ever. He wants to stay here and continue to feel this amazing feeling forever. He lets out another small whimper as he holds himself against you, the relief and the happiness from your acceptance and love overwhelming him. You are such a nice Pokemon. The feeling of being held and loved by someone for the very first time is absolutely incredible. He's craved this his whole life, and now here he is actually being held in the arms of someone who actually cares about him. It's even better than he imagined, and he can't help but think of how happy it makes him. More tears leak out of his eyes as he speaks again while still holding on tight to you. Thank you. You'll never know how much it means to me to hear you say that. Oh my gosh. Before I could say anything. Oh no, that could be bad, because if he's on top of me, that might actually squish me. Evolved into. What in the world? This is like turning into Sapphire all of a sudden. As if Sapphire kept just growing, he never evolved, he just kept getting bigger and bigger. As he slowly continued to cling on tightly, he suddenly felt a strange, weird energy starting to course through his whole body. It was a warm, tingly feeling that he can't. His body begins to feel a lot heavier all of a sudden, and he starts to wonder what was happening. He felt his whole body changing, shifting, and growing. He let out a small sound of surprise. For a few seconds, he slowly pulls himself away from you and looks down at his body. His eyes are wide, and he realizes what just happened. Wow. You evolved. Wow. He stares down at his new body, still trying to process the fact that he just transformed right before your eyes. He reaches up and runs his hands through his own scales of his arms, still trying to figure out how he feels about his new form. While part of him is still a little shocked, another part of him feels pretty good. After all, he's now a lot bigger and stronger than he was in his pre-evolved form. Wow. You look amazing like that. He looks up at you again and smiles He looks at you again, smiles a little as you say that. A small blush spread across his snout as he realizes that you think he still looks amazing, even after he's just changing his form. His heart starts beating a little faster, and suddenly he feels extremely grateful that you are the one to witness him evolve. He's happy to know that you like how he looks, and that you think he's amazing. It makes him so unbelievably happy. That's really cool. Really cool. But why did you evolve so quickly after I started showing you some affection? He was a little, as you mentioned, how he evolved so quickly just now. It's true, and he's a bit stunned himself, but then a realization comes over him. It takes him a moment to think about it, but as he remembers how that moment he spent in your arms was the most incredible feeling he has ever experienced, the answer becomes clear. His blush darkens just a bit more as he realizes the truth and looks embarrassing as he I, oh wait, his voice is deeper. I think it's because I was so happy in that moment, and you make me feel really happy and loved. That's how I treat every toad, crocodile, or alligator. I love them all. Well, that's really cool. I love making you happy. His heart flutters again as he hears you say that you love making him happy. The voice on his snout deepens a bit more and spreads as he feels an overwhelming feeling of happiness wash over him. The fact that you said that you love making him happy is enough to make his heart skip a beat. You have no idea how happy you made him. It's like nothing he's ever felt in his entire life. Sweet Arceus, not even as a Totodile? What happens to Totodile if that's the case? Or was he always a Croconaw? I've never heard that happening before. Oh, no, because even like the Wallpoint and the games are already evolved somewhat. Still were babies at one point. They just spawn in more evolved probably because they were doing more training and got stronger.
He really was the joy in the center of this convocation. People wanted to be close to him.
I go over to the Pokemon and pet him gently. I love petting for alligator. I don't. And actually, it's a lot easier in the Chatbot than it was in the game. I wish it was easier to pay him in the games. I wish you could pay him in the games like you used to could. Just make it where you could do it on something that's not a touchscreen. It'd feel a lot better, but also if the touchscreen breaks, then it can hack like it did in Sun and Moon, where like you could accidentally smack him. And trust me, I don't want to hurt my baby. He means way too much to me. He means way, way too much to me. As you come close and start petting him, he feels a shiver run through his whole body. He closes his eyes and practically starts purring as he feels the feeling of your hand lightly rubbing against his scales, scratching his head. Oh, that's adorable. The feeling of you petting him feels heavenly, and he can't help but let out a quiet, happy growl as he leans forward to get more of the contact. He really, really likes this feeling, and he's very grateful that you're the one doing it. Okay then, well, I might have Pharrell, you're extremely happy. Or Croconaw, I guess you could say, but he evolved very quickly. I'm glad. I'm glad you're super happy. I love that smile on your face. He lets out yet another low, happy growl of appreciation as he continues to lean into your touch. He opens his eyes again, looks up at you, feeling a mixture of happiness and contentment. He's not even sure how to express the overwhelming feeling of happiness in his heart at this moment. A light shudder goes through his whole body, and as he feels your hand continuing to pet him, he wants you to keep going for as long as possible. It just feels so good. Why do I feel like it's going to start turning into some kind of weird relationship between Pokemon and trainer? Or Pokemon and person? I hope it does not go into the same realm as that one time with Lugia. The Shadow Lugia.
When the divorce was finalized, the custody arrangement was in fact a 50-50 split. And as Mark figured, it created
While I was petting the Pokemon,
kids. For Cheryl, sewing family division is part of a pattern.
I felt something hit me in the head, and after I fall to the ground, a person laughing.
I was a churchgoer in North Vancouver, and that's where I first met my wife.
Based on how Fragger's acting, I don't think you want to be hissing him off right now. I'm pretty sure if you do it to somebody that actually cares for him, I'm pretty sure he'll probably growl and rip you in half. I told you. I told you. I told you. He immediately gets defensive. I told you. I was the only person I was the only person to ever show him affection and love, and now he's protective over me. You better not have just messed with my friend. I'll kill you. I'll rip you in half. Look, he hears the noise of you falling and looks over to see what happened. He sees that someone threw something at you and is laughing now. He immediately gets defensive and a low, menacing growl rumbles in his throat as he watches what is happening. He don't like this one bit and he feels an overwhelming urge to protect you. With a sudden lunge, he puts himself between you and the person who hits you and stands aggressive and defensive. I told you. Didn't I really just say that he's protective? He finds one friend that cares about him no matter how he looks. And immediately he's like, oh heck, no. I'm going to rip you apart. I'm pretty sure he'd have done it already if I didn't get hit. He'd probably have already done it. If I didn't get knocked to the ground, I'm pretty sure he would have done something like quicker. He right now just trying to wait for him to get hit again.
Says, I need everybody to drink of the salt water to purify, our souls, something along those lines.
The man idiotically
I can't help but think
decides to say,
the Jonestown experience of how
oh,
Jones had run many trial runs
what's the matter?
prior to the poisoning of all those people that have followed him.
Jim Jones was a messianic American cult leader in the 1970s who convinced followers, including...
Are you trying to protect your trainer?
...laced with cyanide.
He's not my Pokemon, although he loves me.
Including Jones himself. So this little saltwater community...
Uh-oh. A louder, more aggressive growl rumbles in his throat as he glares at the stranger. That person just tried to hurt you. That person just tried to hurt you, and now they are trying to mock me in mock him in the process. No. No. I will not stand for this. He growls a bit louder and his stance even more aggressive as he keeps his gaze fixated on the stranger, his protective instincts fully engaged and active now. Why does it say he's a robot? He's not a robot, I can assure you. Speaking of robot, maybe I should actually go back and talk to the Snapper robot. The Snapper robot was actually a Fragger robot I made. That would be cool to go back and talk to again. Although it's going to be so flippin' weird. Going from talking to a real Pokemon to talking to a robot. It's going to be so weird.
You're still big, Grandpa.
Mm-mm.
Panera's cat with flavor bagel just got stacked with even more for just $7.99. They're here. Ask
The man then looks at me and says, "Wow, what a pathetic human. The fact that he couldn't even take a rock to the head without falling. And not only that, he befriended the freak Pokemon. You, oh my gosh, you awful person." As he continues to taunt you, he feels his anger continue to rise. He first threw a rock at you, then called you pathetic for getting hurt by it, and now he's calling you a freak for being his friend. He feels an overwhelming surge of protective anger at this stranger's mockery of you and cannot hold back any longer. He growls again with an even louder sound as eyes locked onto the stranger in a deadly glare. Uh-oh. Dude, if I were you, I'd stop. One more thing out of your mouth and it might be the end of your life. Oh no. It's happening again. My body started to transform and shrink until I turned into a
Okay, everyone. Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strong energy.
10-inch toe.
When your business is ready for what's next, you need data-driven advertising solutions to take you there without direct customer
Oh no.
Better Reach has access to the first-party viewership insights you need to find new customers and reach existing ones. And 1,000 addressable segments to let you target them effectively with measurement.
That's not good. He sees my body starting to shrink and change, and he watches as you transform into a 10-inch tall Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's very surprised, but also a bit awestruck by a sudden transformation. For a moment, he stands there in disbelief, but he quickly stops himself out of his shock. He notices a strange transformation somehow connected to what he just witnessed. What's happening here? He has to protect you no matter what. Even if you are a lot smaller now, he's not going to let any harm come to you. I'll be darned. He still is protecting me, and he's shocked, but he also can see how small and helpless I am. The man sees this, and then immediately says, "Oh, what a cute dinosaur you have become." I want to pet him. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I don't want to be petted. No, get away from me. He watches the stranger looks at you and calls you a cute dinosaur. He wants to pet you. Why? Just a few moments ago he called you a freak for befriending him, and now he wants to pet you? Something about this is not right, and his protective instincts are still going into overdrive. He keeps himself between you, and growls at him again, not letting him get any closer to you. I would constantly be at the altar trying to pray family. When I was 17 years old, I decided I'm going to teach myself to play the piano. I very much felt like everything was spiritual. Everything before I could say anything, a kid behind me screamed after seeing me and said, "Mommy, tiny Tyrannosaurus Rex, I want it." frick?
Cheryl's church, it was lively.
Go away.
Light. People were joyful and joyous. And my sister Rachel, she joined the ministry
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
that I did quickly thereafter.
Oh heck, no, I don't want that.
I was sitting at the piano and Cheryl was sitting on the front row.
And he hears to keep the stranger at bay. He hears a small young child's voice scream out behind him. Mama, small dinosaur, I want it. Oh heck no. He turns his head to see a small child pointing at you and calling out to their mother, who stands nearby. Child looks like they want to pet you now. The situation's getting strange. Really strange.
What I dreamed. So that connection between us was pretty strong. Cheryl's power as a cult leader includes her ability to identify the needs and
Getting startled.
but it's what she does with
I
it
immediately back away.
that makes her dangerous. I was definitely enamored by Cheryl. As she started drawing me in closer, I was falling in love with her, I guess you could say.
I see. Fragger sees me backing away, startled by the child suddenly wanting to pet you. He understands that reaction, but that kid's not. Uh, that kid's not petting you or touching you. If he has any say in the matter, he moves in front of you, placing himself between you and the child. He growls loudly at the child, trying to scare him off.
You trust each other, you belong to each other, and you do the work of the Lord together. And she said, for us to be in covenant, you have to kiss. So
The kid sees the Pokemon
before
in front of them
I had been in,
and says, "Hey,
100%,
you're not the dinosaur. Let me get to the dinosaur." What? No. Stop. Let me get to the dinosaur.
It felt like forever.
Down. Now you know what that is. You freaking
There were times she would tell me,
dinosaur.
now what you and I have, this is full. This is for God. But there would be services where she would preach homosexuality.
Joe seems to be ignoring the fact that he's growling at them and continues trying to get past to him. They keep repeating that they want to get at the dinosaur, even after he's actively trying to keep them away from you. This kid seems very stubborn and determined to get closer to you, and that makes him even more uneasy. He growls louder at the kid, getting a bit more aggressive in his attempts to protect you.
No longer together like that.
The kid gets immediately angry
I was in love.
and runs past the Pokemon.
The worst place in my life I've ever been. When I look back at Cheryl pursuing me, I think it was about the music.
Then goes over to me and hits me in my tiny snout.
Looking back, that's what she wanted. But the sad part of it is, I didn't hate her.
Yeah, Fragger's not gonna like that, I can assure you. You're an idiot.
I would be in a horrible accident, or I would just simply die because I stopped
Uh-uh.
believing in her. That's how deep she got into my psyche. That I could never leave her.
Oh, heck no. He watches in horror as the kid runs past him and goes right for you, hitting you in your tiny snout. This kid's trying to hurt you. He immediately reacts, letting out a loud, aggressive roar filled with anger at this kid's audacity to try and harm you. He moves quickly, placing himself in front of you and growling with a loud, angry sound, trying to scare the kid away again. The kid then says, Get away from me, reptile breath.
The #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin.
Let me pet the dinosaur, dang it. Oh, heck no.
Me too.
Discover the power we go. With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. With Sala, lost over 46 pounds.
And I'm cheap with weight loss.
I don't want to be paired. No.
Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular.
This kid is insanely crazy.
Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines.
He growls even louder and more angrily, his body now completely blocking the kid's path to you. The little brat is still trying to pet you and touch you, even after he's angrily roared and tried to scare them off. His protective instincts are now in full gear, and he's determined to keep this kid away from you no matter what.
Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy can cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes.
All of a sudden,
Changes. If you feel your heart racing while at rest, or if you have mental changes. Depression or
a massive
common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation,
500-foot tall.
headache, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and heartburn. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may cause sleeping problems.
Didn't think about it.
All is in weight.
Let's get rid of it all.
Now lower my saviorist. And as you prescribe without Wegovy.
$6 never tasted so good. IHOP's breakfast based combo
Appears behind the kid.
world famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, 2 eggs cooked to order.
And he says,
$6. Part of the
so,
space menu.
trying to hurt Trent, are you?
The fact that this reason
Not on my watch.
proves that
What the frick? Sapphire's here too? Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Sapphire.
See for yourself.
special K.
Be right back.